Welcome to The Explainer. I am absolutely thrilled to have you here today because we're jumping right into a totally fascinating organizational dynamic. It's one that so many growing companies face, but honestly, very few talk about clearly. If you are a leader or an IT professional trying to figure out how in the world you scale your operations without losing that awesome culture you've built, this Explainer is exactly for you. Today, we're going to break down the real, tangible benefits of working with an external IT team to strategically strengthen, not replace, your internal people.
Now, if you already have an internal IT person, or maybe a tight-knit team of 2 or 3, you're probably asking yourself a very specific and honestly, a totally reasonable question. Is managed IT even worth it? I mean, think about it. You walk into the office, the Wi-Fi is humming along, those day-to-day support tickets are getting closed, and hey, the new hire actually has a working laptop on day 1. Things feel comfortably covered, right? So why in the world would you need outside support layered on top of all that? It's a completely fair question. Today, we're looking at the straight answer, completely free of any sales pitches, and based purely on how modern, high-growth businesses actually operate. Okay, let's dive into this. Before we talk about external help at all, we have to recognize the internal IT teams bring absolutely irreplaceable value. They really do. They know your people by name. They know exactly how that one, highly specific, slightly quirky legacy server actually works. They know that Bob in accounting always clicks the wrong links on a Tuesday. Plus, they're accessible. You can literally walk down the hall and talk to them. And above all, they have a sense of ownership over your environment that is practically impossible to replicate with a third party alone. Your internal team is fantastic, which is exactly why growing companies build around them rather than replace them. The challenge you're likely facing isn't about their capability, it's about capacity, coverage, and scale.
But here is the very real ceiling that those small IT teams hit as the business scales up. It basically becomes an impossible math problem. Just think about everything getting funneled through that one small team. You've got password resets, managing a dozen different software vendors, trying to stay ahead of incredibly complex cybersecurity threats, tracking remote devices for a hybrid workforce, answering dense compliance questions. It's endless. When the sheer volume of reactive, hey, my computer is frozen issues comes in constantly, and remember, those aren't optional, they absolutely have to be fixed, the truly strategic, business-moving work gets pushed to a later that never actually comes.
And that brings us to the real crux of this impossible math problem, the number 5. What we just talked about, that isn't one job. That is 5 totally distinct, highly specialized careers. One single IT professional cannot possibly be a deep, up-to-the-minute expert in cybersecurity and cloud infrastructure and compliance and backup disaster recovery and network architecture. It's just not humanly possible. Yet, in smaller internal teams, they are often expected to make the absolute right call in every single one of those wildly different areas on a daily basis. When a small team is forced to do the jobs of 5 people, you essentially lose your safety net. What happens if your IT lead gets the flu for a week, or worse, quits? It creates a massive single point of failure. But usually, before a total breakdown happens, you'll start to see these 4 quiet warning signs. First, standard projects just start dragging on indefinitely. Second, crucial security configurations are only partially rolled out because the team simply ran out of time. Third, system documentation is incomplete or totally non-existent, meaning the knowledge only lives in one person's head. And fourth, you notice your IT person is working late nights constantly just to keep their head above water. These are the quiet little red flags that bubble up before something actually breaks.
So, why is it absolutely crucial to catch those warning signs early? Well, because the game has fundamentally changed. In the past, IT was viewed as a basic support function, a cost center that fixed jammed printers, right? But today, technology is a core business risk. It's directly tied to your daily operations, strict compliance requirements, and your reputation with your clients. Cybersecurity in particular is no longer just an IT problem. Just one single ransomware event, one failed backup, or one missed compliance gap can completely halt your operations, cause massive financial loss, and literally even affect your ability to get business insurance. The stakes are incredibly high now.
So how do we actually solve this? It requires a complete reframing of the solution. We are not talking about outsourcing here, we're talking about co-managed IT. Now, what's really interesting about this concept is that you can think of it as a strategic superhero team-up. Your internal staff stays right where they are, guarding that vital company culture and institutional knowledge. But they're paired with external staff who bring in that deep, specialized expertise we talked about earlier, along with crucial overflow support. It's not about replacing your team at all. It's about profoundly expanding what your internal team is capable of delivering to the business.
In practice, this division of labor is a total game changer. It's like a giant puzzle fitting perfectly together. Your internal team continues providing the institutional knowledge, the face-to-face user support, and actively leading the environment. Meanwhile, your external partner fills in the gaps with a deep bench. They provide a massive overflow help desk so your team isn't buried in those endless password resets. They bring in specialized security experts, and crucially, they bring enterprise-grade tools, 24/7 monitoring, and high-level strategy that would be completely cost-prohibitive for you to buy and implement independently. You literally get the absolute best of both worlds. So how do you actually know if you are at the tipping point? Well, there are a few concrete trigger points when you need to seriously consider a co-managed model. Number 1, your IT leader is stuck in the weeds, closing basic tickets all day instead of planning for growth. Number 2, your company is growing rapidly with new hires and locations, but your IT headcount isn't. Number 3, you're facing stricter cybersecurity and compliance needs where good enough security just won't cut it anymore. And number 4, leadership is trying to make big business decisions, but they just don't have a solid technology roadmap to back them up. If you recognize your company in any of these points, it's definitely time to empower your team with more resources. Actually, I want to be completely transparent here, because this isn't just a magic wand. Co-managed IT is absolutely not a fit if company leadership views technology purely as a pesky cost to minimize, rather than a powerful driver of business growth. If there's no appetite from the top for outside collaboration, or no genuine willingness to invest in improving your existing systems, this partnership just won't deliver the results you want. It truly requires a fundamental mindset shift from the top down.
But when that mindset is right, wow, the transformation is incredible. Just picture this for a second. Your properly supported internal IT team finally has the time to maintain a strategic focus rather than spending their entire week running around putting out fires. They finally feel less stretched. They start contributing directly to massive business outcomes. At the same time, leadership gains crystal clear visibility into security and performance risks. Because you have a real plan and the right resources to execute it, the entire business moves faster and experiences far fewer costly disruptions. That is exactly what a truly empowered internal team looks like.
As we wrap up, I want to leave you with a final provocative thought. It's time to stop asking yourself if you need managed IT just because you already have an internal team. Instead, ask yourself this: are we getting everything we should out of our IT investment? If your answer isn't a confident, absolute yes, then it's time to have a conversation. Not to replace your people, but to give them the exact tools, backup, and specialized expertise they absolutely need to do their best work and drive your business forward. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and I hope this provided a really clear, structured way to look at the future of your IT team.